Well, hey everybody, welcome to today's episode of Travel with Rick. That's right, we're doing them every day for the month of October. We're going all around Epcot International Food and Wine Festival with great friends like Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Rick. Thanks for having me.
It's so great to have you back. It's wonderful to have a food and wine writer, like an official, real person that does this, not a whatever we do here. But it's great to have you here as we go all around this World Showcase, trying some great food and telling people what we're having here.
Absolutely. Wait, today we're in Australia.
We're in Australia, yeah. We're just kind of like on the beginning of this whole journey. We've got all month to get around. It's going to be amazing.
It is going to be absolutely incredible. And I love that they have the featured pairings this year.
That's really exciting for me. They really do. And we'll talk about that from Australia. But first, you got to tell me a little bit more about food and wine writing and what you do.
Absolutely. I'm with my blog is tastecooksip.com, which is where you can find me on social media, along with Wine Chicks on social media. And I like to explore the food and wine that you can enjoy at home, but also what the wonderful chefs around the country are creating, and the interplay of the food, wine, craft beer, cocktails with the meals that you're having, because it really is all about the experience.
Awesome. And I so appreciate the dialogue that you've already given us so far as we go around World Showcase. You have such a vocabulary and such a grasp on describing the flavors and describing the pairings. So let's first talk about this pairing that we're having here in New Zealand. We have this great lamb chop with a pesto and crumpled potato chips. Always seems a little weird for me, but for some reason it just works.
Yes.
And then we have a great wine paired with that. Let's talk about that.
Absolutely. Well, you've got this beautiful lamb chop with a mint pesto, and you have that salty, delicious potato crunchies, I believe they're calling them. And what you have there is kind of a way to still enjoy the mint with the lamb, which is a very traditional pairing. But by bringing in that potato and salt component, you're also not going to be overwhelming the wine, because I think a lot of us know mint and wine can sometimes be pretty tricky.
Okay. And so this is a Yongara Estate Vineyard Shiraz, McLaren Vale. I'm not sure what McLaren Vale is.
So McLaren Vale is one of the wine regions. It's very popular in Australia, and Australian is considered a New World wine, so it'll be a wine region. So you should be enjoying some very nice fruit as your primary tasting component there, but it'll stand up to the lamb chop, which is grilled. So anytime you have those grilled meats, it's nice to have something that you can pair with it and not be completely overwhelmed.
Awesome. And so from Australia, we're also going to enjoy a nice grilled sweet and spicy bush berry shrimp with pineapple, pepper, onion, and snap peas.
Beautiful.
And we went ahead and picked up a Bulletin Place unoaked Chardonnay from Southeast Australia. Now, that's not a pairing. It's just something that we decided might be good, right?
Yes, we did. And you have the wonderful notes in the unoaked Chardonnay. So for people who are a little scared of those buttery, big oaky Chardonnays, you might want to look towards Australia and New Zealand. They really kind of brought the unoaked Chardonnay into fashion about 15 years ago with the malolactic fermentation that has there. You'll have good mouthfeel. It'll be high acidity. They're younger wines, but you're still going to have nice body there and probably some tropical fruits.
Yeah, and I know I have learned both from Gary Vee and from just being on my own show and touring around food and wine to never say I don't like Chardonnays, which I used to say a lot. Because I am not typically a fan of a very oaky or a very buttery Chardonnay. But I did learn, not from Australia, but from New Zealand, the Marlborough region, that Kim Crawford has also a really nice unoaked Chardonnay. And that kind of brought me back around to thinking, okay, I tell people, don't rule any class of wine out, and don't ever say I don't like red wine or white wine or Chardonnay, because there are lots of varieties and there's lots of differences in them, right?
Absolutely. There are so many different wine regions, winemakers, and different ways to actually make the wine that you can get a completely different flavor profile from wines grown in the same region. So, I mean, really, get out there and taste.
Very good. And never say you don't, because just when you say that, you might find something that you do, and if you don't, you'll miss out, right?
It's so true.
All right, cool. Well, let's dig in and see what we like here.
Okay. That looks like a pretty meaty chop there.
It's meat on a stick, guys. It's awesome. All right, now I'm going to try this pairing. Oh my. Dead silence for a little bit on Travel with Rick there, but there was a reason for that.
Nice.
So, fan favorite every year is this lamb chop. It's absolutely amazing. It is not overcooked. It's still got a lot of tenderness in there.
Looks juicy.
You're right about the saltiness of the chips. I guess I never really got it before, but it does bring it back around. And that mint pesto is amazing. But what happens is when you try that wine with it, it's just amazing because it's a nice, full-bodied wine. It doesn't overpower this, but it definitely stands up to it. And the flavors are just amazing. And I got the fruit.
Yep,
so,
definitely dark fruits. And you also, in the mid palate there, get a little bit of spice. So that's going to kind of interplay with some of the flavors that you have, the salt and the pepper. You can clearly see the nice pepper that they have on that lamb chop.
Yep.
And that, to me, really kind of ties that in there along with the char from the grilling.
Awesome. Tell me a little bit more about the mid palate. Now, how does that work? So why do you pick up things differently on the palate?
Well, and that's...
I know your tongue is very complex and has different regions and things. So is that really what we're talking about there?
Yep, we're talking about kind of from first sip to as you have it fully in your mouth and it's integrating to what you get after the fact.
So kind of the finish and how we go with that, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. See, that's why we have folks like this on Travel with Rick to help you guys understand what I see in my head or think in my head, and you're so great at articulating that.
Thank you very much. It certainly is a pleasure.
Let's try this shrimp.
I think you're going to enjoy this shrimp, and careful, those are tail on, which is nice. You get a little more flavor when you cook those with the tail.
And I want to point out, we're doing this episode kind of nice. We found a table. We have napkins and we have air conditioning, so we can actually, thank you Amanda Tinney, our gaffer here, for helping us get all set up,
or
our finder, or whatever you want to, however we call that. But
Location scout.
Yeah, director of photography. There you go.
go.
Official title now for Amanda Tinney of the Internet.
Yes.
Besides Amanda Tinney of the Internet. I mean, that's her best title.
That
let's
is.
face it,
I like that one the
It
best.
really is good. All right, I'm going to try one of these shrimp tail off.
Very nice. I thought the cook on the shrimp was very nice, and of course Australia is known for cooking everything on the Barbie, so I think this pays a nice homage to that. I thought the flavors, there was a bright pop from the seasoning they used, but what else was nice was the little bit of pineapple that was in there. I don't remember that from last year. So I think tying the pineapple is nice because of the flavor profiles that you're dealing with on the wine side, kind of circles you right back into that wine.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when I took a taste of the shrimp, just a little bit into it, I picked up some heat there, and then I went back for some of the pineapple, and it just kind of finished it off really, really
Smoothed
nice.
it out.
Like I'm hoping this Chardonnay is going to be
I hope so too.
That I don't like Chardonnay.
I know. There are a lot of people who are ABC, anything but Chardonnay, but hopefully you'll feel a little bit differently.
Wow, now that is good. I mean, that Chardonnay doesn't remind me of the oaky Chardonnays that I've kind of tried to stay away from. It's fresher, more like a Pinot Gris or something.
I would say you're 100% on track there.
Bright flavors. It pairs so well with that shrimp. It's just amazing.
And I think that if you taste it alone, there's still enough there in the structure of this wine for fans of Chardonnay. So this is not an overly acidic wine. It's not an overly fruity wine. It's got good structure to it. And you can really taste that there's a Chardonnay grape there.
Sure. And that would go good with basically any kind of seafood, or just, as you said, by itself on a hot summer day by the pool. That would just work really great,
that would be
right?
perfect.
What did you say yesterday? Floating in the pool?
Floating and drinking, flinking.
Nice. Yeah, that's a great wine for that. I may never get out of my pool. If I had a float and a bottle of that, I may never leave.
And would you ever have to?
No, not exactly. Just bring another bottle out.
I agree. I would say the only reason to leave is to pick up where we left off and continue to enjoy the wonderful food and wine here at Epcot.
There you go. Did we mention the beer? Or did the beer disappear?
Not. I think the beer...
Our director of photography. I think our beer was for the director of photography. The Hates took our beer.
Hey, someone gets paid in beer. Well, I love that.
So what is this beer that we're having, you're having?
Well, I was going to say it's delicious. It's the Cooper's Brewery Extra Strong Vintage Ale. So to me, if you take a look at this, it's got kind of a nice light amber coppery tone to it. It is an ale, and I think it's got a lot of bones to it. I really like the way this beer finishes. It's not too light, so if you are a beer drinker, you could have this with either one of these. You have the
She
nice...
keeps handing it to me to try it.
Oh, I know. I keep trying to... I know you... Well, remember, taste, Rick. So I think this has, with the spice in the shrimp, it definitely would hold up to that.
Passing it back to our director of photography now.
but it would also be completely delicious and lovely with the lamb chop because again, you have that wonderful bite at the end.
Okay.
So don't let the color fool you. If you're a person who likes a stout or a porter, or even those who are kind of an IPA fan, you would, I think, really like that. Now, if you're a fan of lighter beers, you might find it has a little bit too much bite for you. So if you're a Pilsner or a lager fan, this might be a little too umphy for you.
Wow. So, folks, we always want to say it's not just Food and Wine Festival, it's food and beer and wine and lots of good times. So there's lots of things out here to try. We've seen dark beers, we've seen light beers, we've seen, if there is such a thing, in the middle beers. So there's a wide range of beers out here, there's a wide range of wines, there is all kinds of foods. This is an international festival, so there are marketplaces from all around the world, and there's lots of things for you to try here.
Absolutely, and for craft beer drinkers, they have a really nice showcase, and there really is, between the imports that they have in here and the craft beer showcase, definitely something for any type of craft beer drinker out here, which is something that I feel Epcot has really focused on the last few years.
Awesome. So just real quickly, want to mention again, as we always do, our passport. This is your guide to all things food and wine. If you look in the beginning, you're going to have some nice photos of some of the food that you're going to be enjoying, some of the stuff that's Chew approved. You're going to have some of the festival merchandise listings in there, guides to some of the special occasions and things that are going on. Of course, you've got the Eat to the Beat concert series, which if you're not familiar with that, great bands all festival long. Every night there's a show. Last night we saw Mickey Thomas and Starship. There'll be someone there every night, 3 shows a night, and that's included with your Epcot admission. No extra charge to see the bands. Just get in line early because they do fill up. You can even stand in the back and enjoy those shows. But lots of great bands there. Everything from Mickey Thomas and Starship to Los Lobos to Boys to Men.
Air Supply.
Air Supply, one of my favorites, Sister Hazel, lots of people out here. So then as you go on into it, you're going to see a page for each of the marketplaces, each food and each beverage item listed with a checkbox. This year, what's different that I'm taking time to tell you about is instead of getting the passport stamp from the cast member, as we've done in the past, we have stickers this year. So I'll let you go ahead and find our sticker from Australia and mark our passport.
Total throwback to my childhood.
And we'll mark this one done, and we'll move on.
Yes, excellent. Now, I didn't pay attention to what page we were on, Rick.
Yeah, it's past the stickers.
Oh, okay, thank you.
There we go. Stickers are in the middle. They help you guide you through your book. There we go. Australia.
Yay!
Boom! We've been to Australia.
Don't cheat.
All right. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for helping us understand what we're having here and why we like it and why the flavors go together. It's so great having you.
It was an absolute pleasure, and I thought this was a delicious pairing.
I thought so. I love that lamb chop. It's a crowd favorite every year. The shrimp was great, and the wines were just delicious.
And so we would give this the Travel with Rick thumbs up for the signature pairing at this.
All thumbs, yeah. Chefs did a great job with that. We're definitely big thumbs up on that, and I just loved it. I love the wines and love the food. And
Absolutely.
I love having you here.
Love the company as always.
Cool. I hope you'll come back because we've got a lot more festival to go through.
Festival.
All right?
Well, please, thank you so much. Having a blast.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't miss a day. We're going to be doing everything all around this World Showcase Promenade, and even the stuff that's over in Future World that you've probably already seen. If you missed it, don't worry. You can always go back and watch it. It's going to be on travelwithrick.com. It's going to be on YouTube. We've got a playlist set up for you over there with all the stuff that we're doing. And there's no reason to miss a thing. Be there for you all year long. You can enjoy it like I do in January when you start pining for the Food and Wine Festival to begin again next year because you know it'll be back. They've been doing this 21 years, Lisa.
It's hard to believe.
It's crazy, right?
Delicious years.
Awesome. All right, well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope to see you right back here tomorrow for another day of Travel with Rick's International Food and Wine Festival coverage 2016. So long.